Hello Insta, comment allez-vous ce soir? Bienvenue à ce 11e live de mon défi 365 jours de live d'interview à des femmes merveilleuses. Ce soir, nous avons une invitée qui nous vient de Londres. Alors c'est drôle, je vois pas mal de personnes qui se connectent. Donc je précise, s'il y a du bruit chez moi, sachez que j'ai du monde de l'autre côté qui viennent de se connecter et qui vont tout faire pour m'embêter, pour me faire rougir. Donc c'est pas grave. Aujourd'hui l'interview on va la faire en anglais. Voilà, donc si vous entendez du bruit, c'est normal, j'ai du monde à la maison. Donc ce soir, je vais essayer de faire une interview en anglais avec Jodi. So Jodi, if you are here, so please come with me. Coucou Ivan, coucou Raquel, coucou Pierre-Antoine, voilà. Voilà, donc je m'entends en écho derrière la porte, c'est très marrant. Alors Jodi. Hi Jodi!
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fine, thanks. I was telling to the French people that I have my brother at home with my sister-in-law and also friends, and they are looking at us right now and they are trying to disturb me.
Don't worry, they can join in, it's fine. That's
so
really
fine.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So how are you? Tonight we're going to talk about you, about what is your history, and tell me everything. So I just want to remember that we have more or less 20 minutes
Perfect
to make this interview, and I hope it's it's fine. 20 minutes.
More than good.
More.
Yeah,
More.
it's fine.
So
where shall I start?
Sorry?
Where shall I begin?
Where you want.
So I was born in South Africa.
Yeah.
I've lived in London for 26 years.
Okay.
I had my first spine surgery at 15 years old.
Oof.
And tomorrow I'm going for my 7th spine surgery tomorrow morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it's good for me to be doing this tonight. That's why I agreed to do it even the night before surgery, because I thought it's inspirational for me too. So yeah. Hence I'm here. So when I was 21, I left South Africa and came to live in London.
Yeah.
My background is in psychology. I'm a trained counselor, master EFT practitioner.
Okay.
And I've done a lot of sales and marketing. I've run a magazine, edited and published my own magazine, a hard copy though, which I wanted to take digital, but it didn't work out, which is okay. So I've done quite a lot of different things over the years. But after I got married and had my son, I was 27. He'll be 21 next year. So I didn't really want to be tied down to having to go to, work for an employer. And also what's more, spend time with my son was a priority for me. But because of my spine issues, it was hard for me to commit to employment, so to speak, because I didn't kind of know, or maybe it was a fear at the time, a limiting belief. Maybe, well, I can't go and work for anyone because what if something happens to my back or happens to me? And I didn't know now as much. I know more now than what I knew back then. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's all good.
May I ask you what happened to your spine? I mean, tomorrow it's your 7th operation. What is the problem you have? I mean, why so many operations?
Got it. Okay. So what happened was, the first one I had was because I had an accident at school. Someone pulled me off a chair in the science class where they have those high, you know, if you're in a bar, they have a high stool. Someone pulled it away from me and I fell flat on my back.
Oh.
And then I had also done quite a lot of high jump in athletics, and it didn't help either. And I landed up, first of all, back in those days, they did traction first. So you were laid up in hospital with the weights at the bottom of the bed, and you sort of laying so flat and a bit down, actually. So it was so boring. But thank God I met I've always met nice people when I've been there, and I've made friends. So that always helps. So yeah, spent a lot of time on traction. And eventually when that stopped, well, didn't work, I had to have a laminectomy, which was my first ever spine surgery. Then after that, something happened with the other discs below that, I believe, the level below. So I had to have discs removed. And then 3 or 4 years later, I had to have the spinal fusion. I think I was 21 years old. And that's when they put the cage in with the bolts, and it's almost like a scaffolding to hold the vertebrae together in place. So it creates a solid structure, if you like. What happened after that? Then I had a car crash in 2004. I was in the back of a London black cab taxi. And coming home on a Friday night around midnight. And he fell asleep while he was driving. And I remember seeing the car,
my God,
going like that. It was so, I mean, it was very traumatic. I have managed to work on that and release, because I didn't actually realize for a long time it was stuck, because I was afraid to drive on open roads myself. Anyway, that's something I've had to work through. He fell asleep, and that landed me in an issue with my neck. So I had to have eventually the same surgery on my neck, a fusion as well, have a cage put in, because that was really bad. And then after that, I had to have my carpal tunnel done as well to release the nerves. And then what happened after? Something happened. I think my back started deteriorating as well, and the vertebrae above the fusion, because it was L4, L5, L5S1, which is sort of near the bottom. So the discs above started deteriorating, and I was having issues. So more injections, more facet joint injections, more of this, more of that. Eventually it was impossible, and they had to operate again, which was in 2015. Quite a lot of metal was removed from the previous surgery when I was 21, and some things were replaced. And then something went wrong, and the November after, which was 2016, I had to have another really major surgery. So unfortunately, both the last 2 surgeries were a complete mess, negligent actually. So my whole back, so I've got loose metal. I've been 10 times in and out of hospital in the past 12 months in pain. The last stay in hospital was actually 4 weeks in one hospital and nearly 3 weeks in another hospital for pain management, really. And they've now decided that it's time to remove as much fractured metal as they can tomorrow and see what else they can do. And then we have to wait and see what the result is. Hopefully it will give me some relief, because it's been tough.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. And okay, I have some questions, but for me to ask you in English, it's hard. So I'm going to manage to ask you my questions in English.
Please take your time, Ellen. You're doing great. You are. I did French at school, so some of it I can pick up, but it's very.
I'm going to try.
Go for it.
Okay, today.
Yes.
What are you doing today? Are you still working, or are you how you say in English when you don't work because you are en arrêt maladie? I don't know the word.
Yeah, so it's almost like on a long sickness type thing. Is that what, taking time off, or employment leave, or sickness leave? Leave? No, so the thing is, I'm very fortunate that I can work from anywhere. and
Okay.
run my business from home. So
Okay.
I have a few e-commerce stores. I have a jewelry company. So that's
A what? Sorry.
jewelry,
Okay, jewelry. Okay.
necklaces, earrings, all sorts of jewelry.
Jewelry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we make jewelry with mixed gemstones, mixed metals,
Yeah.
and luckily I can operate that from home, so to
And
speak. And
everywhere. Mm.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
I don't really have to rely on worrying about upsetting anyone,
Okay.
which is nice. So
Yeah, it's better than working for another person, because I imagine that you have a lot of medical meetings, and you have to go maybe a lot of times to the hospital.
yes, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to remember to the people who are watching us, that we didn't know each other. It's
No.
the first time we meet. So I don't know even your story. I went to see your Instagram to see a little bit who you are,
Yes.
and I saw that you are a mom. So you have two
One
child,
son, his
one
name's
son.
Jacob, and he's 20 years
Okay,
old.
all right, yeah. And what will be the message you want to how you say to transmettre? What's the
What is the message I'd like to get
to
out there?
tell? Yeah, to tell to the people about your story, about your strongness and everything.
Okay, I'll tell you the biggest thing that I learned was that I personally cannot suppress and hold things in, because the more I do, the more pain I have. So the pain I have anyway is made worse or exacerbated
Yeah,
by holding everything in.
yeah,
When you're able to release, and there's different ways to do it, and different ways, people recommend. It depends, obviously, what methods you teach. You definitely feel a lot lighter. The other thing I would say as well is that acceptance is a big, big part of having
big.
an illness. I know you've been through a tough time as well.
Yeah,
Obviously, I don't know you that well, but I understand you've been going through.
yeah,
It's very, very difficult, I think, to accept. But acceptance isn't resignation. Acceptance is the fact that you're willing to open. To me, is like open your heart to, you're still a good person. You're still beautiful. You're loved. You're worthy of everything, because you, God forbid, have an illness or a bad back, or bad legs. Some people can't walk. It doesn't mean that they're any less worthy just because of that. They're still absolutely as deserving. See, I didn't feel like that when I was 15. I felt, although I was always quite confident and outspoken, I felt different to my friends, because I
why?
spent a lot of time in hospital.
Yeah,
I had to write exams in my bed. So I always felt very
different.
different to them. I don't know as I felt less than them, but I felt like I don't have the same luxuries maybe they have. But then I had some luxuries that they didn't have. So thinking back, it just, you know what, Ellen, also I'm so grateful for the people I've met along the way. I cannot tell you how humble. Do you feel that as well?
I feel that the same. I was thinking about my story, because I've passed by breast cancer last year, and
Yes.
I've met so many people who helped me so much, and I think that one of the reasons I decided to make this 306
Five.
65 sorry, lives
You're
um,
right. You're good.
was because I received so much love from other people that I didn't met, because in the hospital it was the nurse, it was everybody, and then I received so much love that I wanted to how you say it,
Share.
to share again with the world, more inspiring stories like yours. I mean,
Thank you.
I need, I think that it's the most beautiful thing that we can make right now, to share our stories.
Yes.
And I don't know, it's one of the reasons I wanted to do this, and the second one is because for me it's very important, because I spent 1 year with the chemios and also with the COVID. I was alone in my bubble, you know.
Yeah.
And now I really want to connect with new people.
Absolutely.
And
I hear you.
I think that I mean, we met. It's in French we say il n'y a pas de hasard. There's no hazard. I don't know if it exists in English. Hazard.
Is it kind of just like that? It just happened?
No, the word will be
fate.
No, I think that we are here tonight for one reason. I mean, it can't be. It's
like divine. It's divine.
Yeah, exactly.
Divine. It's divine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I agree with you. You meet people. I mean, what are the chances if you think about it? How we met, how we connected. So yeah, absolutely.
Please share how, for the people, because your English is better than mine.
How we connected?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we participated in a group. It was a free masterclass with Melanie and Leah from Alpha Femme. So, hey, Melanie. Yeah. Called, you said in French, Le Souk Quantique.
Quantique, yes.
Le Souk Quantique. And Ellen, you put a message in the group saying that you are going to start your 365-day live challenge, and that you'd like to incorporate with that to interview other women with perhaps inspiring stories, different views on things, I suppose. And I made a comment because I realized that you'd written it in French and I was reading the translation. So I said, I would really love to participate if you don't mind having me do it in English. And you said, well, of course. And that's how we met.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's beautiful to meet you today, and also
absolutely
the day before a big surgery for you. And I am so grateful that you spent your time today with me, a little part of your time. And I'm very grateful for that.
Please know that I'm so grateful for you, because when you said, you can, Jodi, we can do December the 5th or December the 6th. I thought, well, Ellen, there's no way I can do December the 6th because I could be on my morphine monitor. I don't know. At this time tomorrow night, I'll hopefully be pain-free and sleeping nicely. But then I thought, oh, the day before surgery, something said to me, do it. It'll do you good. And I'm really happy to be here too. So how amazing.
It's amazing.
Really happy.
And me too. And so we talk a little bit about your activities. So you sell jewelry. How you say
jewelry? Yes, I do that. I've had a few different e-commerce businesses over the years with different products, but I'm always sort of come back to jewelry for some reason. I'm not one who likes to wear a lot of jewelry. Sometimes when I go out I do, but yeah, so I enjoy it. But then I do other stuff as well.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
I do other things as well, but carry on.
Oh. No. I was asking, I was asking to me, if you have more activities, what could it be? These
like
activities?
Hobbies?
Sorry?
You mean for work or for fun?
Both.
Okay, so what do I like? Sometimes I like Netflix and chill, but just relax. watch series or things I like to watch. I read. I like reading. I also love working with mainly women. I have worked with men, but I mainly work with women who have been through a lot of trauma. Because after I got divorced, I was with a guy for quite a number of years, and he died in bed next to me. That was coming up for 14 years next year. So that was very traumatic for me. So I enjoy working. Well, I can't say I enjoy, but I enjoy the outcome of the women I work with, especially when they come in with, heavy trauma and having been through really, really heart-wrenching losses or, things like abuse and stuff. I just find it, I don't know, I feel good when it's not me, when I guide them because it's them, they do the work. I'm sort of the guide to, help them to let them learn to feel safe, come back to their bodies and feel safe and able to perhaps just move a little bit. You can't just pull someone who's had trauma out of their comfort zone. It doesn't work for them. You need to work gently. They give them compassion, provide a safe space. And it's nice to hear that from people that I have worked with, that they do feel very safe when they work with me. Then again, it's not I work also with people who have a lot of anxiety, but it's not always it's not chronic anxiety induced by trauma. It's anxiety.
So you work with them like a coach or something like this? Or more
kind of. Pardon?
Therapist?
Yes, sometimes. Yes, it can be. We do emotional freedom technique, tapping. I do also
like EFT?
Yeah, tapping.
Yeah.
But I have my own method. I've devised my own method for that. Simple reason being that there were some things that when I started doing tapping before I qualified as a master practitioner, there were certain things that I thought might be helpful, which I practiced and tested, and it actually works better for me. And then it started working better for other people too. So yeah, it's just a bit of an extended practice, if you like. So yeah, doing EFT, also getting really down to what the root cause of said anxiety is, because you can put as many Band-Aid, you can cover up, but if you're not getting down to the root, it will just keep coming back, and people will repeat the same patterns, the same behaviors and things like that. So that really does light me up. And also I like how can I say, I like to be creative. So when I was running my magazine, for example, I wanted to do something digitally, online, kind of a magazine. So now I've all of a sudden come to the point where I've actually got something together, which is going to be an online portal with a sort of a magazine vibe. And it's a new brand, but it's going to be birthed early next year. So yeah, so other than that, I love socializing. I love uplifting people. I love motivating them. I love to give them a massive force of self-belief. And lift their spirits and hold them till they believe in themselves enough to go and crack it. So
that's a big message, and thank you for sharing with me, and for the people who are watching us, and people who watch us in replay, because there's some people that would see our live in replay. And as we are ending this live, I would ask you if you want, you would share 3 people who inspire you and who they are.
As in anybody? Okay, so first it has to be my son. Not just because he's my son, but he is such a go-getter. He has such an open, kind, caring heart.
Wow.
He really intentionally cares about people. And he knows to do the right thing, but the right thing by him, not what he's told to do. He thinks, he decides himself, and he makes his own decisions. And when I talk to him about stuff, I get really excited, and we do laugh and share a lot. So yeah, he is very inspiring. Who else? There's so many people I can't really think of.
I know, but that's why I ask only for 3 people, because I know there's a lot of people, and I wanted just to give you some more time to think that I didn't ask you by message to think about it. So it's really...
No, that's fine. So I'll tell you what, I'll tell you who else. I will have to say my grandmothers, although they are no longer with us. They were both the most incredible women. They each had one child one was mentally unwell with schizophrenia, one of my uncles, and my other grandmother had a child with epilepsy, my father's older brother, and the one with schizophrenia was my mother's older brother. But they both had such a love for these, both children, and the way they took care of them and looked after them and made sure they were well cared for, and they were kind and loving to them, and that inspired me so much.
Wow.
And also my mom's mother worked in a residential home as a volunteer for people who had mental health care issues. So from a very young age, and this is where I was inspired in the psychology mental health background, I understand. I used to go with her to work when I was about 10 years old, and I would stand in the shop, where they sell sweets, and I would serve the sweets to the people, and then I would make jewelry with them. I mean, I used to speak to the psychiatrist there when I was 12, just asking questions and having conversations. I mean, I was reading that book, Chicken Soup for the Soul. I think I was about 12 or 11 years old, something like that, but I was always interested in that. So yes, definitely my grandma. So my son, my grandmothers. I mean, I love my family dearly, but let me think of someone. I can't really think offhand. I'm actually inspired by you, Ellen.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because you've been through a lot as well.
Yeah.
And you're very resilient, I can tell, and you're so friendly and warm and kind, and
thank you.
You have good intentions, and you inspired me to do this with you. And it really is my first time doing a dual live, and I'm really honored. So there you go. It's you.
Oh, thank you.
That's all right.
And I was thinking about you. I mean, you can also be how you say in English, fier. What's the word? I mean, you can be inspired by your history, and I mean, you go through so many things to your life that you can be also inspired by yourself. I mean,
and I am really inspired.
You should.
Thank you. And I honestly, when people used to say to me when I was younger, this is even, I think maybe I'd had 2 backups by then. Oh, you're so full of yourself. You have such a big head. And I was never like that. I think it was just that I had I had a real deep love for myself, maybe because it's what I'd been through. My parents got divorced when I was 12. I've seen things that some people maybe hadn't seen, mental health in the family and stuff like that. And maybe some people never got to witness that. So they weren't I don't know, I had a lot of compassion for people and love for people and love for myself. And I've just always been optimistic. There's always something to say thank you for, to be grateful for, and to someone to appreciate. And myself, I'm really appreciative of myself. Thank God for me in this vessel, my body. It's done good for me.
I love the title that I put in my story. You are a self-doctor and
self-love,
optimistic, self-love doctor
and
optimistic.
Optimist.
Yeah, I love it. It's so.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Really, really,
Thank
really,
you.
really. So, Jodi, we are on the end of this live, and I want to give you all my good vibes for tomorrow. I will be in the thinking of you tomorrow. By my thinking, I will share
thoughts.
all my good vibes. Yeah,
merci,
in my thoughts.
merci.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
merci
Ellen.
beaucoup, Jodi.
And when I do this next, please, God willing, when I'm better, I will have you on my Instagram because I'd love you to tell your story to me.
Yeah, and it would be a pleasure. A pleasure.
Good. Thanks,
and
everyone.
Maybe my English will improve. Thank you for watching us. And
yes, thank you, everyone.
And thanks. And
thank you, Ellen.
Good luck for tomorrow, Jodi.
Thank you.
And I send you so much love.
Thank you. So lots of love. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye. And have a good night.
You too.